today I have a very special video for you. Not only is it live audio video, but I wanted to show you my July Tiny Planner Challenge. For the whole month of July, I will be using these very small planners. Let me demonstrate how small they are. This is a Hobonichi Weeks. This is my Hobonichi Weeks Mega. In comparison, this is a pocket motor. I've had such great fun setting these up for the month of July. So what's going to happen is that I will be using my Hobonichi Weeks as archival books while using these tiny planners for daily planning and journaling and note-taking, etc. I will be explaining all of that. So the structure of the video is that I will give you an overview first, which is right now, and then I will be telling you about the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of these tiny little planners or being in them. And then lastly, I'll show you a little bit of the setup that I have for each of these planners. They're not completely set up, disclaimer, but they have enough to be able to work for now. And I'm going to take the opportunity to set them up slowly throughout the weeks because I feel like I'm going to be sticking to these. Now, the real reason why I'm switching to having these planners is because when I am on my desk throughout the day, I like to have my planner open on my desk so that I can take notes, or when I'm taking a micro break, like a 2-minute break to rest my brain, I like to write on my planners. The desk that I'm using will be replaced. I am reconfiguring my setup and it leaves me very little space for my planner to be open. So that is why I decided to go ahead and set up the tiniest planners ever made by man. No, that's a lie. Okay, there's one more planner that is super tiny, but I am unable to get my hands on that, and I'll show you a picture of what I mean right here. It's mostly used as a keychain because it's super tiny, and I don't think it's practical anymore. These ones are tiny but practical, I feel like, and you can still really use this for every day. So what are these planners? Let's go ahead and get started. I have 3 planners to show you today. First is a ring planner, and this is a Filofax mini in Saffiano. So if you're looking to just try it out, I do highly suggest the Saffiano collection, which I will link in my show notes, which is in my blog. Next, I have a micro TN, and this is really nice leather, actually, from 11 Leather. I think they are currently on hiatus in Instagram, but they are a custom leather company, and I've had this for quite a while, like a really long time. And then lastly, I have my 3-ring binder, and this 3-ring binder is from AliExpress, and you can get this on AliExpress for not very much money. And this is actually very popular for journalers who are doing a lot of kawaii spreads. And if you'd like to try that out, I do highly suggest this. I know Rainbow Holic TV, one of my favorite kawaii creators, has made a 3-ring journal. She hasn't posted about it in a while, but I hope she will. Alright, so what are these for? So this one is going to be my planner. It's going to be my main planner. It's going to have all of the planning needs. Next, I have my commonplace book. So all of the information that I'm learning, I want to jot down ideas, work things. I want to put it in here. And then for this one is my happiness binder, where I want to put down lists and smaller reviews of books and movies and favorites, drinks, places, experiences, and all of that. So it's basically a journal, but a tinier version of that. And I'll tell you more about that later in the individual features. Because right now, let's go ahead and talk about the SWOT for tiny planners. So first we have strength. Obviously, the number 1 is portability. It's very easy to carry. It doesn't take up a lot of space on the desk, which is my main concern, even when it is open. So I'm going to show you this. Let's open up these beauties while I am talking about strength and weakness. So weakness, however, is that there is not a lot of space for writing For example, this one has quite a lot, but since this is a planner, I'm gonna need a lot of space. That is why my dailies is in 2 pages. And because it doesn't have a lot of space, it is difficult to see everything in one go. And you want to see your whole entire week, it's gonna be a little challenging, I would say, rather than or compared with being in a bigger planner. But for opportunities, there's quite a lot of opportunities for crafting because they're so tiny. If you have, let's say, an A4 vellum sheet like this one, I'm able to make 4, 5, 6 maybe from one vellum alone. So this is a micro TN. So I'm able to make, I think, 4. This vellum is from Sterling Ink, by the way. So I'm able to make quite a lot of dividers, I would say. Are these dividers for TN? I don't know the nomenclature being used for TN. I haven't been in TN in a while. So another example, this is a tiny pad, tiny notepad, craft pad, and I'm able to just tear away one and put it in my 3-ring binder like so. Also, you can store these very easily because they are super tiny and they don't take up a lot of storage space. And lastly, for opportunity, these are very unique. There's not a lot of people using them. I checked YouTube actually for these, and most of the videos you're going to find on an M5. So this is an M5. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier because it only has 5 rings. So the Filofax Mini can be called M5. So if you search M5 on YouTube, you will find a lot of Japanese YouTubers using these. And then let's go ahead and end this segment with threats. So really, really negative stuff about this. It's very easy to misplace. Because they're tiny, you can just put them somewhere and they will just blend into the background and you will never find them again. That's an exaggeration. There's very limited available accessories on Etsy and any English-speaking Etsy. There will be quite a lot more in Amazon Japan. Japan really is the place where to get accessories for M5s and tiny little planners because they're very good with that. They've got so much stuff and they're going to take all my money once I start buying things again, I'm pretty sure. And they're actually very difficult to find right now. I don't think I'll be able to find anything similar to a Filofax Mini outside of Filofax from other brands, with the exception of Japanese brands such as Ashford. That is really the top level brand for planners in Japan. Like practically every other YouTuber or nearly every YouTuber that I watch is on an Ashford. So aside from that, I think that being in a tiny planner really is going to be very fun and exciting for me for the month of July. Let's go ahead and get started with the feature. So this is going to be the first one. It is the biggest planner here in this collection and it is from Filofax. So you do get the Filofax logo or brand on there. It is a snap closure, but at this moment in time I have this fountain pen on here. This is a faux Kaweco. The only real Kaweco here is this clip that I have for it. If this pen is in the loop, then I'm unable to close it. If it doesn't have the pen in the loop, then I can definitely close it. This pen will live in my pencil case if I go out, but it's nice to have it on hand. You do get the Saffiano brand mini organizer or Saffiano stamp. There we go. It does have the secretarial pocket as per usual with most of the Filofax planners with the exception of the original, and then you get 2 card slots, and what I like to do is to put this in here so I can easily grab it whenever I need to. And underneath here I do have the memo sheets I got from Common Room PH, I think. And then I have this card that I DIY'd from a thicker frosted plastic. I've had this for a while. I don't know how I did this because it's very thick with a lot of effort, I feel like. Okay. So with the exception of maybe a couple of dashboards, such as the first one, most of these or all of these inserts are from Perfective Paper. And I do have a discount code for a whopping 15% off. Just use the code PAU, PAU 15 and grab those discounts. She also makes both printable and printed items, but I do prefer the printable ones because I like to DIY stuff quite a lot. This is a clear cover. I made this myself. Very easy to do from whatever you find at Daiso. I have my main dashboard. It says Wabi-Sabi is a worldview centered on the acceptance of imperfection and appreciating beauty that is imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete in nature. And this is from Canva. That's a little gold clip that holds it all together with this. So I have my keys here, and this is my inbox. I do have these film sticky notes from Daiso, and I just have a list, basically inbox list. I do have my shopping list here, and this is the Perfective Paper, I think, Bujo sheets. I'm gonna be linking it in my show notes, which I will link down below. Make sure to check that out. So if ever I'm making another list, then this one is ready to go. I just have a few sheets here, followed by this Filofax film insert. And then I have the 2023 calendar in vellum. I made this myself. This was a printable. This is an elephant clip from Midori. I love elephants. Elephants is my jam. This is the same calendar but printed differently, and I'm glad to have that. And these are my future logs, so I have a couple pages. And then to be able to get to it right away, I do have this DIY little bookmark thing that covers the whole page but is see-through, so I can see the next page. Remember, there's not a lot of space, so information is all over several pages. That's why I wanted all the bookmarks to be see-through or transparent. This is the weekly tracker, week on a page. So this one is a week on a page. Let me show you a blank one. So I have a few here. Here we go. So this one is a week on a page, and it is oriented in landscape. That's its orientation, in landscape. Okay. And this is where I like to write down tasks in one word, because there's like 4 grid boxes. And then I have a space for notes. So these are main activities that take up a lot of time. For example, if I am filming, that takes forever. And then also important things. So the most important events are already written down here, and I just haven't set it up yet. But I want to write down all the events that will be happening throughout the week on here. This is basically future logging, but in inserts form. So pre-printed inserts form. Okay. First tab here, it says 1. And for my tabs, this is from Perfective Paper once again. And after this, I'm not going to say Perfective Paper anymore. Just assume that it's from Perfective Paper. So you are able to edit the tabs, what's written on the tabs. So what I did to reinforce, let me show you about. To reinforce this tab is to put down a film sticky note. So if you have a ton of sticky notes and you're looking for a way to use them, you can actually do this as well. So I just stick the sticky part down onto that tab, and then in the back you can actually see the rest of it. And I just cut it down according to the shape of this dashboard. And the first dashboard will have my monthlies. So this is July, and this is the monthlies that I prefer because I want to just write things down on here and just color code or draw or scribble little keys on here like a bullet journal, and then I will know because I will have it here. I have contemplated doing the full month on here. It's not gonna work because it's too tiny. There isn't gonna be much writing going on. So I just decided that this is the best thing, to just have a list and then put keys on here. So there are things to consider when you are going to be using such a tiny plan. So next I have divider number 2. I have another calendar because this was a whole sheet of calendars. You get to have 4. And I printed it off vellum, and vellum is precious. So I decided to use everything I can. The prettiest one goes in front, and this is the not as pretty one. And then I have coffee, a liquid that smells like fresh ground heaven. I made this off of Canva. This is just from Canva in their free version, and I just put in the size of the paper that I wanted. If you want a tutorial on how to do your own inserts on Canva, make sure to leave a message, or not a message, but a comment down below. Next I have Believe. Let me scoot on closer. And this one is a top tab, and the tab says this week, or the week. And this is the week on 4 pages. This is brilliant for a tiny planner. So first you have a tracker. Then you have this list here. Maybe you want to track mood, water, workout, and this is gonna fit tiny little icon. So you have a visual representation of your whole entire week here. And then you get to have the dailies. For this page there's a 1 day, and then for this page there's 2 days. So this is a Monday start. And then you get to have your schedule. There's a schedule, an AM and a PM, and then underneath that you have a list of to-dos. Wow, okay, that is super cool. And also you have focus right up there. I do highly suggest using at most a 0.5 pen, ideally a 0.38. Quite small, but it's actually still visible rather than the smallest ones. Like a 0.28, that's not conducive to life. So I have a few weeks here, several weeks. I'm not sure if this is 4 weeks or 5 weeks, but enough weeks, and I could just switch them out to another weekly if that doesn't work, etc., and make new ones for the next. Next, I am doing some layering. So I've made this for this specific planner a very long time ago, and the very first time that I set this up, this was a very highly decked out planner. I loved it so much back when I was doing laboratory work, because I didn't have time to do nice writing, and I was doing a lot of things with my hands, and my hands would get tired and my writing would not be as pretty, and I didn't want to write in my Hobonichi, so this was the solution. This one says today at the top tab, and this is my dailies. So my dailies is 2 pages of 2 different inserts. Okay, so what I do is I print all the inserts that I need regularly, and then I just switch from either having the schedule on the right, or the schedule, or rather on the left or on the right. This one is a journaling page really, but I thought that this is a very good complement to a more structured daily plan or insert. So here I have my top priorities, a place for a schedule that's bigger than the ones in the weeklies, a work task and personal task list. I really am very excited to use this. I've had this for a while. I've been using it for a while, and this really works. I love it for listing all the things, and now I have something else to put lists on, and you know how that makes. So I have quite a few pages of that, maybe even 30 pages, and then I have number 3, and then this one looks like this, and then I have my pen choices, So this is just a regular copy paper. I don't know how it was going to behave, and it behaved spectacularly. I'm so happy. And this is going to be my notes, and then I have number 4. So this insert is the same one as the inbox because I didn't feel like I needed a special insert for that. And of course, notes pages are always going to be grid. So these are actually very versatile. And one thing I'm going to say is that it's genius to have the lines all the way to the exterior of the page. The only margins is the one at the top and the one at the bottom, and they're very skinny. They're maybe a grid and a half width. But on the sides, it is running from left to right. I love it so much. This is gonna be great, I feel like. And this is the last tab. This is number 4. And I just have a few more here for any dedicated notes that I need to write in. I still don't know what I'm going to write in here. I haven't figured it out. I want to sit down off camera and do it. And then I have another coffee one because I was lazy. And this looked too good enough for me. And this one is a bottom tab. The only bottom tab here is this. So if I really needed some references, so basically I could just flip to this page. And this one has password inserts, which I have quite a ton of. And I don't want to just commit them to memory or commit them to a digital file. So I wanted to have a new file for them. And this is the back, so another layering going on. And this one has the frame. Underneath that I have the moon. These are all my page lifters, and I have quite a few. I have 3 so that I'm assured that my pages will lift and not go inside the rings, because there's quite a few inserts. And then last I have this. I made this for something else and then I cut it down, and then I was unable to use it, so I'm still trying to figure this one out. At the back you have a little pocket there, and I have this card that says notes. You can alternatively put a notepad here, anything that'll fit in here, just tiny ones. But for me, I don't think I'm going to do that because I need the space, the width for my insert is quite a lot. And that is the end of the flip through of my Micro 5. Next is not going to take a lot of time because I didn't do much for them. Let's start with the rings so that we're done with all the rings. So this one specifically I chose because it has the pocket cover, so you can insert photos in here. I'm going clearly for a very vintagey like look. I don't know why. I haven't thought about vintage in a while, but let's see. So in here I have a photo card of my favorite K-pop artist. Her name is 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔. This is from one of her albums. And then I have the sheets. The sheets I got separately, but from the same shop that I got the planner from. I chose the one with the, they say rose gold. It's more copper than it is rose gold, so just be mindful. Very, very orange. And then this is my happiness binder. I'm using the keys to organize my notes. I think this is going to be super fun. This is the first entry, just try it out. So this one is, what's the orange one? Oh no, the yellow one, review books. And I used my real 𝒕𝒊𝒔, the EF nib on here, and it was great. So I just have my, let me show you. Okay, so the filled in hearts is something that I love. The heart with the dash is my not the favorite thing. The favorite thing about that book. And then I have my star is my recommendation, and I said I would read the rest of the series because I actually enjoy the first 2. There are 7 in that series. And then I have nothing. Now these are cream colored. Alternatively, you can do white. I don't think I like it as much as the cream colored. I also have these inserts that are just blank, which I'm very excited to use in the future. So let's keep that over there. And then lastly, I have a micro TN. This is once again from 11 leather. They used to be 1111, they became 11 leather, and this is their stamp. It's kind of, I don't know, going sideways. I don't know why it's doing that. I tried to fix it, but it refuses to be fixed. So that is how she's going to live, and that is fine with me. So micro TN time, brown leather. It's showing a lot of wear because this is very old and it is quite thick, which I like. I DIY'd nearly everything in here with the exception of a few notebooks. So this one is cut up from a folder that is clear, and I even tried to write on here a while back. It clearly didn't work. And then I have a few notebooks in here, and each notebook is not very thick. I have a few pages that are white. I don't like it. And then for the folders, sometimes I have these open pockets, and I would put decoration on here. Once again, very vintage. That gives the same kind of feeling as the cover itself. And then these are from the notepads that I showed you earlier. This one, and I just took off the pages and put them in here. And we're all happy. We're all done. It was very quick to do. Oh, that should have been one of the strengths. And I neglected to say that. Okay. And this one is a DIY notebook. And I have my pen test for this paper that I'm using. I no longer have this paper. Sadly, I think I can get new ones. This one did not stand the test of time or the test of wet ink. Unfortunately so there's not gonna be any writing using fountain pens on here. I guess I shouldn't be buying any more of these paper. And this is just plain. These are all pretty plain now. And you can see that it actually has can store two notebooks. But I chose to just cut up the notebooks into two, and then used a jump band made from hair elastic to stuck them together. So lots of space for creativity. I didn't realize that these are all handmade notebooks. See, there's no what is that, stapler or even stitching down in the notebook. It means I did it by myself. And this is a craft folder that I just cut up. So if you have cardstock laying around, you can definitely just make your own notebooks. I think I even made this by myself, even though there's like clearly, yeah, because that's not centered. I made that myself. So that is how you can do this. So this one is going to be my commonplace. I haven't started with this, but I am very excited to do so. And those are the planners that I'm using. So this is the end and the outro for this tiny planner walkthrough of the tiny planners that I have and will be using for the month of July. If you have any questions about any of these planners, just make sure to leave it in the comment down below. I will try my best to answer your questions and reply to your comments. If you have any suggestions as well about future videos that you want to see, make sure to leave it down in the comments. And that's it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want some more planning videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.